What's up, everybody? And before we get going here, you guys know, got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you to Tony, Starla, Sam, Luke, Jacob, and Tyler. You guys help keep this engine running. So huge shout out to you guys. On this episode here, we got a very special guest joining us. So let's get this one underway. This is this past guest as well, guys. Back to episode 88 we're talking about, okay? So here we go. Episode 151. Woo! We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
Wait,
was another.
You got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 151. Let's go around the table, shall we, and introduce to you guys, you know him, my co-host down in Westboro, Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, how are you, buddy?
Well, I told you guys before we got on that I had a gem for you, but I'm gonna save that for a minute because I have been on. I know this is. I'd said last week's episode I would be back on the road, but as this is being recorded, I'm currently riding the tail end of vacation week, and it was. All was good. Went and saw some family, but I will say it was not a. I mean, it was a long drive. We've had longer, but with having Willow and having a almost 3-year-old, man, when we were going, this is a 6-hour trip, and it was about a 9-hour trip. But we were about 45 minutes in, and it was so bad that we were debating on even. We almost turned around, but I'm glad we didn't. And the ride home was way more smooth. Just to put that in, but yeah, we went up to Indiana and saw some family. Ashley's sister, our nephews, got to watch him play baseball, and just it was good. But as we record, I'm going to do this a little unorthodox because I got to mention him, and I know we haven't technically introduced him yet because being on vacation, you'll have some gems drop in your lap randomly, I guess, when you're out of your normal schedule. And not to say that I wouldn't hear this on the road because I would be perfectly, I mean, it was a what the fuck moment that I walked in on at the tail end. So just this evening, it was a random trip. I had to run down. We didn't have any paper towels, so I make a quick trip down to the Circle K convenience store, and I'm not going to mention any of their names in case any of them would listen of the people working. I have no idea who they were talking about, but there was somebody in front of me, and this guy was kind of pissed off, and he was muttering and he wasn't like yelling, making a scene, but I could tell he was fucking agitated, and it was just, he was mad about something. So I don't know this dude. The guy working, I know him because the place is literally a couple hundred yards away from my house, so I get gas there. I'm there a good bit. So as this guy leaves, I make the mistake of asking what that was all about, and he said he was mad at this because this trail camera that he had was disabled, and there was no visual of this, but these people dug up the remains of either this dude's dad or whoever this dude was talking to this guy.
Come on, bro.
So right then I'm thinking, okay, what the fuck did I just walk in on? So
Isn't that illegal?
Well, fuck yeah, it's illegal. It's not, but it's but I ask, I'm like, so what I'm thinking maybe he was buried with jewelry on or something of value.
100K? Like what?
No, no,
Fuck.
it was his fucking ashes that were buried in the ground. I'm assuming in an urn. I would like to think I mean, you would have to do this.
Hopefully.
But then I started thinking, why are you burying ashes in the fucking ground? Are you digging like a 10 shovel scoop hole and burying these fucking things? Or are you actually putting it 6 feet into the ground? But I just started to think to myself, the whole thing got me so curious of one, who would bury ashes?
Yep.
And two, who is fucking digging up these ashes? And I had to mention, because now I can mention who it is. Episode 88 and 151. I'll still have Dave do the official introduction, but old Daniel the Warrior reached out of a Hill Jack story that I'd told a while back, and I don't know if these people. I'm assuming they got to be Hill Jacks. There's no way. I mean, if I'm rolling up on this place and they're in like a $800,000 house with a 3-stall garage and shit, I would be shocked. But that literally happened as we record this right now. That happened less than 2 hours ago. So I literally just had this fucking said, and I don't know if any of you guys have ever walked in a conversation of people digging up, but yeah, that just happened. And I hate to say, I said I wouldn't hear it on my route. People in West Virginia we're still very good people, and I feel like I represent us well, but we got some maniacs here. We fucking do, man. I
love that you got to stick up for it, though. You're
I absolutely. I've always said I try to portray it as accurate as I can, because I'll still not out. I don't give a fuck, but I give a fuck enough to not dig up ashes out of the fucking ground. So you don't have to worry about me ever doing that. But damn,
Wait, are we 100% sure it was ashes?
Yes, I asked 3 times because I myself want to be cremated. I don't want to be. I've said that for years. So I've always had this thing of, and I'm also a big Lebowski fan. For anybody that loves, I'm not. I don't want to get my ashes scattered because of the Big Lebowski, but I had this thing. So I'm just thinking in my mind, if you cremate somebody, I thought the whole point was to not be buried anyway.
Right, you put them on in a urn on your fireplace mantle or some shit. Yeah,
I asked that a lot, and I had to confirm that. And I didn't ask if it was in an urn or if you've seen the Big Lebowski in a Ralph's coffee can, but. The story will continue because this guy works in the evenings, and I normally see him after work anytime I got to get anything there. So,
gosh,
I'll keep you posted. But that's how the end of the week's been. Happy,
gosh,
it's a little belated, but happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. It's Mother's Day weekend, but
that's right.
Yeah, so the vacation's been good.
Dude, you just love it when a gem literally drops in your lap. Like you're like, holy shit.
Yeah, 2 hours ago. Just
it was
heard
that. So that's
Yeah,
that's good. I can't say I've had anything like that this past week. Unfortunately, no. I mean, not really. Well, I mean, all right. So there was.
Say unfortunately, and then you say, well, all right.
No,
so,
but
now you're going.
It's not anything like crazy like that. Just digging up old remains is wild, but this was a personal personal achievement, and I've never done it before. And so, softball season just started, right? And I enjoy playing the sports. It's like my summer thing I get to do once a week, every Wednesday night. And this is my second year on this one team, and I'm their pitcher. I pitched last year for them, and then we went to the championships, and we lost in the fucking championship at a best out of 3 series. And now pitching again this year. So first game of the season, and we ended up beating this team 13-0. 0. Fucking pitch the shutout, bro.
How you pitching a shutout?
How you pitch shutout in slow pitch softball is unreal.
That's
I know.
Fucking impressive.
Thank you.
It's all happened to you. Pitched.
I mean, like this team's pretty good too.
Wait a minute. Did you pitch?
Yeah.
You pitched a shutout and slow
I
pitch.
pitched the shutout. We 10-run ruled them, so they called the mercy rule after like 4 innings. You know? But I mean, don't get me wrong, like everybody on my team was like hitting shit out of the wall. And I mean, you know, these guys hit too, but
I got us. What were the
like
caliber of
my
these
defense
dudes?
behind me was fucking shutting it down. You know what I mean? They made some great plays, dude. And like yeah,
Go ahead. Sorry.
no, I mean like it was impressive, you know? Like I don't want to like toot my own horn or anything, but like
I mean, it's pretty.
but like I have a nasty curveball in fucking arc pitch. Like if you're dude, I made this guy swung and missed twice at 2 different times at bat. The same fucking guy.
Shit.
I got him with the curveball like twice, swing and miss. Like
Fucking Dave.
It's there, and then it just curves away from him, and he swings and he just misses. Like
That's why you didn't tell me this. Is this what you withheld from me? Because you pitched shut out and slow pitch fucking softball, dude. I can say that is. I gotta ask the caliber of this fucking team. I'm not taking anything away from your curveball, dude. But
no,
these,
this team's good.
I gotta say these
a bunch of younger kids, like our ages. You know what I mean? Probably even younger too. Probably like mid-20s.
I'm not really young anymore, but
yeah, but
you gotta. I appreciate.
I consider myself young, so I consider you young too. You're not that much older than me,
dude. Once you hit,
like Brian thought. Like,
yeah, right.
like just like Brian thought I was some like young buck going around like 25 years old, just started at UPS or something.
The guy from the Rooster Gate episode, Brian, thought Dave. He said so. He's like, Leak, you probably remember this, Dave. You're too young. I'm like, we're fucking 3 years apart. Man.
I'm like 3 years younger, bro. Yeah. It's like, come on, man. No, but no, yeah. So I just, yeah.
That's good, though, dude.
It was a great start. Yeah,
that's fucking don't happen very often. So yeah,
no,
that's impressive.
No, just throwing them in the right places where they ground out or they fly out. But anyways, all right. Let's introduce officially, guys, our guest tonight. All right, all the way from the West Coast. As long as I know, this man started listening to us, I think, probably all the way back to the beginning episodes. He has been past guest as well, like we mentioned at the top there at episode 88. If you don't follow him on Instagram, you should. He's always up at his early morning hours, just getting the job done, and my man is out there killing it with the workout game and staying in shape. Got to give him huge props there. Guys, please welcome to the show, Daniel the Warrior.
Yo,
what's up, buddy?
I was going to also say,
community,
and probably I will argue probably the best tattoos out there. You got some fucking awesome ones, dude. I'm a guy. It's weird for me because I have 0 tattoos, but I admire the ones that I see, dude. Yeah, I was going to throw that in there, but I didn't want to. I didn't want to interrupt Dave on the intro, but had to throw that in as well.
Yo,
it's good to have you back, brother.
That. Yeah, man. No, you guys were talking about the softball shit. Have you guys heard about the Teamsters like baseball, softball games going on?
I'd heard I'd heard about a flag football game with Amazon and UPS.
Man,
but I haven't heard anything other than that.
Yeah, so like out here, there was like a bunch of guys, and they created a little softball team, Teamsters, I guess, a bunch of UPS drivers, and they went out there and fought, like played some other like teams, I guess, and of course these guys. This is the second time they ran it, and they fucking lost again. Like, dude, you guys suck. They just get drunk and then they fucking lose.
Like, they need your curveball, dude. You got to transfer.
They need Dave in the mix. Yeah,
call me up, boys. Come on now.
Yeah.
Bring in the lefty. Let's go.
Facts. Nah, but that Amazon game, what's up with that?
Well, Dave sent it to me, and I thought my dumb ass thought it was like real football, and
Luke was ready to flatten some dudes.
I was like, oh man, I'd really have to.
Facts.
I literally said, and the funny thing saying this, I would totally have to do this for a flag football game too. But I said something like I was going to have to stretch or start stretching or something like I wouldn't pull a fucking. Dude, I wasn't even when I was good at football and young. I was probably never good at flag football. I was a lineman. I was a nose guard, man. I was in the trenches. I didn't fucking, I feel like flag football is better for people with speed. Like, dude, I blocked, I blocked or plugged up holes on the line. I don't think I would be much use in a flag football game other than the block only, which, I mean, now, yeah, me now, fuck no, dude, I'm done. I played in an alumni football game, full contact, 10 years ago, almost to the day, and I was 30, turning 31 that year, and if I tried to do that now, I remember how sore I was because I played in two.
Yeah.
And the one I did, I was 29. I was about to be 30, and we played another one like 6 months later. And I don't know if it's because I knew the dudes personally not all of them, but basically to summarize it, we played a team that actually picked our height. Like, they had this league that would go to different they had high schools and alumni from there. You would play in a football game. This fucking organization did this, and I thought it was fake. And when I first heard about it, I didn't think it was real. And as we can all relate with UPS, I was having a shitty day working. I was I was a lot less seniority than I am now. So I was, a rookie driver getting slammed, and I was having a bad day anyway. And this dude that I went to school with said, "Hey, man, we could use you in this game." And I looked at this thing and I thought it was fake. I thought he was fucking with me. He was like, "No, man, this is real. This is like shoulder pads, helmets." He was like, kickoffs, everything. And I'm like, "Dude, you're telling me we can play real fucking football?" This was like in 3 weeks. I hadn't played football in 10 years prior to that. And I was having such a shitty day. I was like, "Oh my God, this is fucking great. Yeah, let's do this." So but we found out they had picked our school because our school they weren't good in football for so long, for so many years, that they thought they could win. But guys, I was 30 then. We had some people like in their mid 30s that we were good. We were good. The mid 30 guys won a state title. Like, we were tough. So the people got together and we fucking took that one a little more personal. And then the second one we played in was against like our old rival, quote unquote. But it was a lot of guys local and we knew everybody. And I still played hard in that game, but I don't know if it's because that game, dude, I was more sore. If I tried to do that now, dude, I'd have to take a month off work if I wouldn't get fucking put out of it. But yeah, man, flag football isn't for me. But I don't, dude. I feel like you could do. How old are you, Daniel? I forget.
30. I'm gonna be 34 this year.
Oh shit! So you're creeping. The way you work out and the way that you push yourself. I'll just say when 35 hit for me, I wasn't taking care of myself like you do. I wasn't working out then, but dude, 35 hit me hard. It got me.
What about you, Dave? How old are you?
37.
37.
Yeah, I'll be 38.
Because the homies I work out with, one of them's 36, and when I was like, I'm 33 right now, he's like, "Dude, I'm fucking way older than you." I'm like, "Dude, you're like 2 years older than me, bro. Like 3 years older than me." He's all tripping. That's why it was funny when you guys just said that whole thing right now. You're only
dude.
40, dude. You're like 3 years away from him. Fucking, that's funny.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that Amazon football game though, they've been talking this shit.
And
Yeah,
that's, you can go to that, right? Like, that's close to you.
Yeah, so I guess a bunch of us we're all gonna roll up to it and watch it. But there's a guy who actually plays it's called flag football at my building, and he has a team already. I guess he already signed everyone up, so they're gonna go run it. Yeah, and I heard they're pretty good, but we'll see. I mean,
dude, you'll have to keep us updated on that.
Right?
Yeah,
But
As far as I know, I don't know anybody that's going really. So
I think Ernie Martinez, shout out to Ernie. He had messaged me about it, or he had sent me a link about it, and then he said
he was going to go down.
He might. I think he said he may go. I think it was like a few hours away from him, but he.
Is that
He's
The
insane.
homie that doesn't piss in bottles and shit.
That's the man. Yes, the man, the myth, the legend, dude. To this day, and one of the best. I swear to God, for any union stories of ever filing a grievance, one of the greatest grievance stories ever was Ernie had a supervisor, because I don't know if he's always had, but dude, he doesn't have country where he's at, but he's out in the desert, out there. I won't say, I don't know if he's in the desert. It's just not. It's country out that way. But I'm just used to like so much greenery here with all the fucking trees we have. But he's got a country route. He's out there in the middle of nowhere. So I don't know if it was that route or one of the ones he was on, but he had a supervisor. He was like, "Where am I going to go to the bathroom?" He's like, "Am I going to have to drive all the way back here?" That supervisor handed him an empty bottle, and he fucking filed a grievance on it. And that guy, I was like, dude, that supervisor had to feel like such a dickhead, because that's such an obvious like fucking grievance that you wouldn't be like, "What, you told this guy to piss in a bottle?" Yeah, I would love to see that dude's face when he fucking got that grievance filed on him. But that is dirty, man.
Great.
Yes, that is dirty.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. No, so you're talking about the softball, like the Teamster stuff. And the only thing I ever hear about over here with Teamsters, like what they're doing, is usually like golf tournaments. Like the Teamsters do like a golf tournament up here in the Northeast area. So that's really all I hear. But damn, dude, I know, right? I'd be like, the only problem would be for us is like the games are during like the week. It's like it's already hard enough to like make like the early games, being a driver and shit. So trying to put together a team would be tough.
So that's where management was struggling, because all these guys were like taking literally the days off and shit to go practice or whatever the fuck it was. Yeah, and they were struggling. Even the Saturday guys, because they had a bunch of Saturday guys on there, so they were trying to get all the Monday to Friday guys in on Saturday. But ain't no one want to work on Saturday, you know?
Nobody want to work.
Did your management say anything? Do you know if they said anything about like guy? I mean, I know it's still softball, but do they ever, because they're missing work and practice and stuff, do they say anything about them like getting hurt? Like, make sure you don't get hurt or anything off the clock? Because I could see them saying something like that just to throw it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure something went down like that. But all I know is like this was their second time running it, and they lost again, like big time. It's kind of like the game that you were talking about, Dave. Something like that.
13-0.
Pretty bad.
Like they had to inflict the mercy rule on them.
Yeah, bro. Hey, sorry, boys, if you're listening to this shit. Sorry for putting you boys on the spot, but you know,
we need to improve. We need to get some wins, though, man.
That's what I'm saying.
And I'm sitting there laughing. I'm sitting here laughing, thinking that was what my center manager said to me when I did that first. But I'm like thinking that was also a football game. It's not softball. That's a little different. But that dude, my center manager was so pissed because I was still technically a preloader when I wasn't officially even full time, or no, I don't know. I must have been full time, but either way, I was able to get that Friday off because it was a Friday night. So when I got the personal day approved and it was all said and done, I'd kept it quiet, and then he had found out like 2 days before. And he came up and was so mad. It was like, "You're not fucking playing. And what the fuck are you doing?" He's like, I'm like, "No, I'm doing it." And I was like, "I'm definitely doing it. I'm approved. I'm not." He was like, "This is fucking stupid. If you get hurt, I'm going to fucking be so." I'm like, "Yeah, we'll survive." But yeah, that's just why I was thinking but he had a legitimate reason though. I mean, who the fuck plays full contact football that had out of nowhere in 10 years on 3 weeks notice? I don't even have time to train, man. It's just fucking pure driving rage. Oh, man.
So how long have you been with UPS now, Daniel?
Dude, I want to say like about like 12 and a half.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And that was... Yeah, go ahead.
And then being a driver, I'd say like 8 years, maybe.
Nice.
8.5.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Awesome, man. Has Now, how close is your center to, like, I know you said it's like LA but not LA. So are you
Yeah.
close to LA?
Somewhere, it's probably like 15, 20 minutes away from my actual, like, I mean, it depends on how far you're trying to go into LA, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would
How
say, like a good like 30 minutes, probably like 30 minutes, something
did
like
any
that.
of the wildfires last year affect like your area?
We were good. We were good, but a lot of the buildings down in like LA, I guess, like a lot of those buildings, like they burnt down. A lot of their areas burnt down, so they
Fuck.
had to cut those routes, all those routes. So all those guys have no
Oh,
routes now. So
No
imagine being on a
shit.
route, for like 20 years or something. Now all of a
and
sudden your
fucking
route's
town's
gone.
gone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are you gonna
Fuck.
do? So I guess they started sending all these guys to other buildings, and like there's a bunch of drivers from all over the like other buildings coming to our buildings. They're sending
Mhm.
our guys back to the building. It's just a whole fucking shit show right now. So
Jesus Christ.
it's crazy, dude. It's fucking crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So I'm just happy that I'm like, I got my own route. I'm a seniority. I guess I got seniority now, so it's like I'm good.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yep.
for the
No,
low
that's
guys, that
good.
sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
You
that's
know,
with all the other stuff. I mean, you have that with the with the wildfires, and the plus with everything else with these like have any of these buildings, excuse me, that have like shut down because of have you had has that affected you at all with any of these like buildings shutting down around you aside from the
dude, the 73 buildings are supposed to shut down.
right?
I
Dude,
I heard a lot
I
of them are
haven't.
California.
Yeah, bro. I'm pretty sure it's gonna start going down, but I mean, I don't know, dude. I don't know what to believe, to be honest. Because, dude,
It,
UPS, you guys know this type of shit always goes around. The media takes it in, and
yeah.
everyone's just like, oh, but no one really knows. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't pay attention to it that much. Like,
It's
I don't
really,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing that you can control anyway, so it's
Yeah, and
best not to.
yeah, I think it's gonna affect more like what, like the loaders and shit, because the buildings are gonna be automated, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Because everything I've heard about it is the centers that are getting shut down, they're letting the drivers decide, like, like, do you want to go to this center or do you want to get transferred over to this center,
Hmm.
And so I heard that they're just giving them, the different options is what I hear is what they're giving the drivers. But I know a lot of the jobs that are getting cut, those 20,000 jobs lost, a lot of them are going to be like IE positions and all these, I even think some of them might even be like dispatch supervisors and stuff like that too. Because I mean,
Yeah.
and probably center managers again, like it was last year. I think that was when they cut the 12,000 jobs. And that number 20,000
Hmm.
is also, that 12,000 from last year is included actually in that number. So really, this time around, it's only
yeah,
7,000 jobs, but
right.
still,
The
and
but
so
that doesn't
as
make as
far as I
good of a
know,
headline.
yeah, but as far as what I've heard and what I've picked up from everybody is a lot of them will not be union jobs unless it's a situation where the center is getting shut down for automation, you know? And I think it was Brad Mosier who I was actually talking to recently. And he was talking about this and how, they're people, like, you're thinking if a building goes automated, then there's not going to be people there getting the boxes, scanning them, and throwing pal labels on them, whatever. But like the way Brad kind of made it sound was like, you might have this job now being ran by whatever robots or fucking any type of like automation type stuff, but then there'll be other jobs that'll get made because now there's something maybe like he kind of worded it. I wish I could fucking remember how he worded it. But like basically like because there's this job going away, it's going to open up these other jobs somehow kind of thing. So like so yeah, so it's
Oh,
I think that's the best way to word it. Is and so he was saying something like along those lines, and I know Brad's just punching his steering wheel right now. It's like, "Can we fucking say that?"
So
But, like,
maybe there is a chance that they'll create. I still thought the 30,000 union jobs by the end of the contract was a stretch, but maybe that'll
Right.
replace a lot of that though.
But you seen that shit too, where I guess the union was saying they're gonna try to strike and shit too. Like, I've seen some posts recently about that.
But they
They're
can't
saying
just
that
strike though. Like there's no strike
in the contract, right?
in the contract.
I don't
Yes.
think.
Yes.
I think it would be. I've heard people say, what? Like looking back on it now, it's like it's so dumb that we even thought we were going to actually strike because at that point in time because of COVID and shit. Yeah, they made a shit ton of money, and they could say, yeah, for 5 years, whatever. With the raise we got, I know a lot of people. There was still a lot of people mad about it, but I think it was just more people wanted the idea of striking. I think more than anything. I'm glad we didn't, man. But it just like. Dude, that was if they would say that same shit again in 2028, I'm going to be mad because I would never cross a picket line. If we did strike, I would stand with them, but I would vocally say that this fucking I feel like right now, and with but they now knowing this UPS with cutbacks and everything, we've known for years with Carol Tomei's "better not bigger" slogan that she's had, and this was probably they had to know some of this was coming, but man, I don't know. I feel like right now it's not a good. It just does if you. I'll just say this, and I won't fucking go down the road of it. I had a center manager that's retired now. I tried to get him on the podcast, but he said he's retired. He ain't talking about UPS on pod. I'm like, okay, but I'm going to shout you out, Chris, because he said something that was. He said one can't live without the other. He's always said that to me, and whenever I brought up strikes, or brought up the strike and shit in 2023, he was retired by then. And I feel like he could also be a little bit more honest because he was done. He wasn't my center manager anymore. And he had said that. It made a lot of sense to me. UPS's stock has been trending downward for well over a year. It's still pretty good, but dude, it went from over $200 to less than 100 pretty fast in a year. I mean, shit drops. I don't know what this fault, but we don't want UPS to fuck up. UPS still needs to be bent. It sucks. I feel like I think the volume was going to inevitably go down a little bit the more Amazon built their distribution and the further away. Pandemic ordering wasn't going to last forever, but I don't know. I would like to see where we're at. It's still young in the contract. We got time but we'll see where we're at in 2028. I don't know if they're going to be able to. They're not going to be able to say the same shit they said in the last contract that would justify striking. Is kind of what I'm getting at. I feel like that's where I stand on it. That's my opinion. It obviously just people all have different ones, but they're not going to be able to say they're still making billions of dollars. Yeah, they're still fucking doing good, but I feel like you can't, you're saying that and they're obviously not doing what they were. So I feel like you can't justify it the same, and I hope they don't try to strike then, but we'll see. Anyways, so they were talking about, was that what they were meaning, striking in the next contract? Because like Dave said, they're not allowed to
some shit like that. The comments, I was just reading the comments, and a lot of people are just arguing and shit. This is too much. All right.
Yeah, dude.
I'm out. I'm going to head out.
Dude, I've even said that to Luke, because of this podcast and because of what we do and everybody that we get to meet, like yourself and all the other past guests we've had on, and being so in tune, I guess, if you will, in tune with what's going on in the cardboard community, it's like a blessing and a curse at the same time. It's a blessing because we get to do this and we get to meet great people, and then it's a curse because it's fuck, now I'm stressed the fuck out. Like hearing all like some of this
Yeah,
stuff,
dude.
you know?
It sucks because there's
I
people.
had to leave some of those UPS Facebook groups. Like I was like, I can't handle this shit. Everyone's
Okay,
negative.
boys. Yeah, exactly. It gets crazy, but I mean, if shit goes south, you better get that OF fucking account going,
Oh shit, dude.
Oh shit. Yeah.
I'd have to. I don't know what I'd have to if I had an OF account. I'd be the first one ever. I'd have to. People would click on. I have to send them money. Oh fuck,
Dude, we've always said you could have like you could have an fucking OF account, but like your OF is about or it's you reading books.
dude. We my wife's old boss. God, this is terrible to say. This is fucking bad.
It's not terrible to say. I know the story.
Dude,
Go ahead.
Jesus. Oh God. I apologize. I'll say this. I was just about to get in I'm going to get into it because I was about to get into the workout regimen and what you like for you to go through what your normal routine is, but I just fucking walked right into that one. But so my Ashley's my wife's her old job. God, Jenny's probably going to listen to this. Fucking. But anyway, her old boss. He was a gay guy, and is a gay guy. He's still alive, and he liked me. We'll just say that he was a fan. He was a fan of what I shaved head, big burly dude. I guess he was a fan of me, and he liked my voice. So he had told Ashley that like I should have a voice. He was like, if you would narrate gay porn novels. And I said, dude, and this is no fucking disrespect. I'm not saying this in a bad way to fucking any disrespect to the LGBTQ community. But I said, if I did that, I would fucking probably laugh through it because I could just like, I don't even know what I would narrate. Then I was like, I started saying, what the fuck am I going to say? Like, Mike's looking down, about to suck Brian's dick or something. And I'm like, and then I'd be like,
fuck.
And I was like, dude, I'd sit there and be like, but dude, it would be, to be fair, I'd probably would laugh if it was fucking straight porn too, but gay porn, I definitely would laugh. I wouldn't be able to just keep a straight face. Jeez, I can't believe I just fucking had to leave that open. Damn, man, that one could have stayed buried, but there it was.
You know what's so funny about everything that just happened just now is as I was saying this, and I was saying, your OnlyFans would be like you reading books. As I was saying that, I was like, holy shit, I hope to God I'm going to, like, he will bring this story up himself, and I won't have to be like,
she just fucking, you threw the hook and line out, dude, and fucking reeled me right in.
Dude, it was a curveball, and you fucking swung at it.
God, dude, I can't hit that fucking curveball.
So, dude, like as I was saying it, I was trying to figure out like what to say, and in my head, I said I could say the gay porn thing, but I was like, nah, I don't want to say that. So I just said books. I didn't say like gay porn books. I thought about it though because I know the story.
Because people would have been like, "Damn, Dave, that's very specific."
That's why I didn't want to say it because I'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh, dude, but
I'm glad you could.
To say, I mean, what can I say, dude? If I got paid enough, I would try to narrate the hell out of that shit. I'd learn not to laugh, but man, it would be. I feel like
I feel like it would. Hold on. I feel like it would have to depend like how long the book is too. You know what I mean? Like,
all right.
Let's say it took you an hour to read this novel.
You got to just
gay romance, okay? And someone paid you $1,000 for the hour. Would you do it?
for gay romance for $1,000 to read.
Keeping a straight face too. You can't be like,
oh well, I
Behind
mean, I probably for
$1,000 for an hour
$1,000
to read
I
a
mean,
gay
as long as I
romance
don't
book
have to
on a
claim it on.
microphone.
I guess I've been fucked by the IRS before, so I was about to say not claim it on taxes, but I don't need that fucking nightmare again. Nah, dude. I mean, I probably would. Why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
I don't have. I mean, I said that when I said no. Just. I mean, I've been to a few gay weddings. I have plenty. I've some. You know, I don't have a lot of gay friends, but I do have some gay friends, and I would be perfectly fine doing it. It's just the funny, like the fucking comedic part of it. Like, dude, I don't feel like I don't consider that homophobic to laugh at it because I would be like, dude, like to narrate it, me talking out loud to laugh at it, it'd be so hard not
Right,
to.
but like
I would be
that's
like,
why
dude.
I feel like when it would become a certain amount of money, like you would
Oh,
take
dude.
it
Well,
serious,
I mean,
obviously.
yeah, if I'm fucking getting paid $1,000 an hour to read gay romance, dude, I'd fucking read the shit out of it. That's fucking you kidding me for $1,000 for an hour? I just
So they
Right.
give you the script and you just read it out.
That's it.
Whatever it is, huh?
Well, I mean, I'd probably have to read it a few times to make sure I wouldn't. I'd have to, if I had to be, I'd have to read over it. I couldn't go in there blind or I would laugh. I'd there be no way something would catch me off.
Yeah, something would definitely catch you off guard.
Yeah, I'm sure it would. God, fuck me! I can't believe you fucking. I can't believe that got brought up. Ashley will love that story.
I'm gonna find a fucking like 5-minute gay romance thing, and I'm gonna have you record it.
I'm gonna have to send it to Toby. Toby, that was his name. So I'll have to. I can't let anybody hear it but Toby. If it's got to go to anybody.
Oh,
Good
fuck.
Lord. Can I, anyways, myself, and I'm gonna move forward from my.
That's gonna be a Patreon exclusive.
Yeah. Listen to him.
Yeah.
So, anyways,
you want to
right
hear
before
Luke talk? No, sorry.
right before I walked right into that one, but that was good though. I'm glad that just never been brought up, and that story is funny. So that was a good
good
job.
one.
But as I was telling you earlier before we got on recording, one of the best things I like about with your page in general is that you show that it's a reminder to all drivers or anybody that does our profession that it is to just do the labor job isn't enough because your body gets used to certain things, and while you think you're working out and you're moving, you're doing more than sitting at a desk, obviously, but it still is vital because the road can also be not the most healthiest place in the fucking world. I have just at my route alone within call it a half a mile radius, I got Burger King, Arby's, McDonald's, Taco Bell, 2 convenience stores. I mean, like, just the fucking worst. You know, there's a Subway, too. I can justify it that way. But I'm just saying, like, the road isn't the healthiest place where you can have, you get shit on the go. And I was telling you the 4 a.m. shit. I don't know. We had Misty, shout out to Misty Wellburn, who is another California driver as well, which I know she's getting close to retiring. I know she was, when we had her on, she'd had so many years left, but she's getting close. But she was like you, man. She'd get up at 4, fucking start banging it out. But when did you get started? Because I know you were working out and doing stuff when you were on the first time, but I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you hadn't been into it that long at that point, or maybe not as long. Or when did you get started with doing what you do?
Guys, when we first started talking, I was just in the first phase of it, just trying to get used to it and trying to just stick to it. But now I'm finally dialed in, so now I'm just getting it. Honestly, like, dude, waking up at 4 a.m. now, like, it's second nature. Like, I just wake up now. I don't even need my alarm clock. And then I just hit the gym. But honestly, I would say like our job is probably the workout. I would say, you know, like the workout in the morning is cool, but that's more for like a mental thing. You know, you want to clear your mind before you show up. You know, you want to be in a
Right.
positive mindset.
Yep.
So that's really what it is. And then when I get to work, that whole day right there, that I feel like that's the workout right there. It's not like crazy lifting, but it is. If you really think about it, we're doing like kind of like CrossFit workout
That
the
is
whole
true.
day.
That is
You know,
true.
like imagine walking around with a box, you know, and my shit's like, my route's all apartments. So I'm fucking up and down the Stairmaster all fucking day, you know?
God.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, I mean, I feel like, yeah, you know, I feel like that's the main workout right there. And if you stay like in a good, I guess you keep your body good for the main workout, and you know, you're gonna survive this fucking lifestyle because our job is tough, bro.
It is.
Well, you know, we really be out there fucking hustling for real.
Yeah, dude. And I can say with the apartments, like because I haven't my route now that I've been on for, I guess this will be year 5 that I've been on it. But prior to that, I delivered up close to WVU in the university, I had a lot more apartments. So last fall, I was about to be off for 2 weeks, and I'd worked a Saturday and get time and a half, and it was move-in weekend up there, and nobody wanted to do the route, and I was like, "Fuck it," you know. I said, "I'm about to be off for 2 weeks, make some OT, I'll go." And, dude, I forgot about the apartments, man, and my ass hadn't because I went from going up. I have one apartment complex on my route, and then all my other residentials are houses. And dude, I don't know how many steps I went up that day, but holy shit, I was out of shape for that route. So those apartments will sneak up on you. So I will say with the Stairmaster, yeah, that if you have a route with apartments, I will rescind my argument saying that's not enough, because if you got apartments, man, you are getting a fucking workout in 100%.
Right? And the worst part is always the heaviest shit in my truck is always upstairs. Always.
It never
You know,
fails.
that's the worst. It never fails, right?
Yeah, of course.
And then I deliver it, right? The next day I got a call tag for it. Fucking
God.
assholes, dude. You know? Fucking assholes.
Dude, the call and I know there's been some listeners that will say, you know, just most of the base is UPS drivers, but for the listeners out there, I wanted to get better with this one week, because I've heard this before when people have no idea what we're talking about, which probably 95% of you do. But a call tag is when so he delivered a heavy ass box on top of the apartments that he has a tag to go get that same box and take it back down the very next day. And it's a pain in the ass, especially if it's something heavy. When you see that, you're like, fuck. There's times too when because you know when you deliver it, it's been through the ringer a little bit, and you're like, I might be back for this.
Or do you just sneak up there and just, you know, knock very lightly? Oh, they weren't home. RS1. I'm
Right.
out. You know?
Yeah, 100%, dude.
Wait, you guys
know,
knock?
you know?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was gonna say, I was just trying to, you know.
Oh, nice.
Oh, facts.
No,
Oh,
I'm
man.
kidding. I knock every time. Every time.
Every time, right?
Every box.
But yeah, so we pick up the package and take it back to the center.
Yeah.
So
And it is, dude. And when it's something like, the worst part of that shit is when it's early in your day too, and you have something like that, and you're fighting with it all day if you're not in it. Because my truck, I don't have that big of a truck. I drive a 600, so and I'm not going to explain the sizes of the trucks, because if I wanted to do that for everything, it'd be like 3 hours an episode. But my truck's a smaller one. And I'm just saying, to explain it, I love the small percentage. I appreciate the listens, but it is true. I couldn't do that with everything. But smaller truck though, man, when you have something like that, that'll just fucking be in the way where you can't really, if being in 1,000 like Dave drives, once you get empty a little bit, you can stick that shit way back there and it'll kind of be, but man, I hate that shit. That's one of the things that, but then you look at it by the time you're back, you're like, oh, it's a good thing this is a fucking RS tag because this thing looks even more beat to shit than it did when I picked it up.
Or like it's a mattress and they already
Yo,
opened it.
I was just gonna say,
that's the worst.
Bro.
That's the worst. And you're just like, listen, bud, I can't take it. What do you mean you can't take it?
I know, man.
You gotta figure out a way to roll that bitch up, bud. Like that's.
Yeah, actually, we have a story. A rookie actually did pick up the mattress and he brought it to the building. He put it in his truck, brought it back to the building, and I guess he unloaded it. He took it out, and I guess my center manager, came over and saw it, and she told him to throw it back in the truck and go deliver it back to where he picked it up from. Fuck, dude, that sucks.
Dude,
Rookies,
that's great.
Dude.
What?
Right?
That's great. Jeez,
I mean,
Louise.
I feel like if you, there's just certain things I feel like you should just know. It'd be like if you're a rookie. I mean, it almost like I will say I almost fell for it like for 10 seconds when I was a rookie, but then I was like, wait, this isn't right, because I had it happen where the dude put the label on the bed mattress, and I was like, I don't think we can do this, and then. But the funny part of that story was he wanted to put it back in the box and thought me and him are just going to be able to roll up this queen size mattress back in this box. I'm like, dude, they have machines that do this. This isn't going to work. We'll fucking be here all day. But yeah, people, I mean, it happens, I'm sure, but damn, yeah, it obviously does. But I feel like, yeah, you just look at that. If you don't see covering, folks, you just can't take it. Can't take it.
God. Yeah.
I didn't.
That's go ahead.
So when you have to go back to the wild, like for the drivers coming in for the wildfires, does it play like, because you were saying that there were drivers going back to the building? Does like a driver say a driver that's a 20-year driver from one of those areas comes back? Then are they bumping, or like, so is there seniority factoring into your building is what I'm asking, to where it's kind of like fucking up how the list goes?
So I think the high seniority guys, they get a guaranteed route at our building or something like that, some shit like that. But the lower seniority guys from that building that burnt down, they have a choice. They could either work at another building, cover another route somewhere else, or they can like be on layoff, I think, or go back to the building for half their pay. Some crazy shit. Yeah, dude. So a lot of these guys, they're like coming from different buildings, working at my building, and they don't want to go back to the building for half cut.
No, man.
That.
Once you start
that
making
top rate,
yeah, man,
stuck.
And that's what sucks too, because even living within your means and stuff at that period, but getting it cut in half, man, that's going to affect a lot of you know what I mean? That's a big, I mean, that's a big fucking chunk. So it sucks that it has to, like, I that's the part that bothers me with it. I hate that. I mean, I hate to say it is what it is, but you know, the time you put in is what. I mean, that's what keeps it all honest, but it does suck because it's affected my building with the layoffs and stuff. But the weird, I don't know really. Our work is there. I feel like it's coming from above our center, but we've had our bottom 8, I think, drivers laid off pretty much consistently now for about a month and a half. But you know, they're working preload, but I think they get paid their, I think, I don't know this 100%, but I mean they're just getting half. They're not getting any OT. They're getting they're getting their driver's wage in the building, but it's just like, it's like 20 hours a week. So it's not, I think some of them, if they have like, we don't have that many people working. Like, I think they're just they're cutting back at my building, and my center in the state is, we handle, I think, the second most, I think my building is going to be fine, but there's areas around in other parts that I could see them possibly consolidating and shit, but it hasn't hit, that part hasn't hit here yet, but I'm sure it will. But that's
what's crazy is like they say that the volume's not there, but the volume's fucking there.
100%.
Because like there's a lot of you guys 9-5, both of you?
Yeah. Yeah, we both are.
Oh yeah, okay. So I've never been 9-5. I mean, I'm so fucking spread out now that no lube is needed anymore, I just
Right.
get fucked, But I just like, so like if I have a crazy day and I do, like, they'll load me up, dude, and the volume's fucking there. Like, I don't know where this volume's coming from, and they keep saying that, oh, we don't have the volume, it's fucking there. I'm fucking loaded up every day. And I don't care, like, I'll get my hours, whatever. But I see some of the other guys, they get loaded the fuck up, dude. Like 220 stops. Oh, hell no, dude.
Right, like the volume's there, put another route in.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know why they don't do that. Instead, they would rather load up and then, or maybe fuck a 9-5 guy over pretty hard. It's like, you guys are fucking dumb. I don't know. Shit's weird right now. Shit's weird.
That's what it was the same here with the drivers we laid off. Like the next 2 weeks after that, it was like I was working. I'd stayed. They had kept me pretty much right at. I mean, I didn't have any. Couldn't file a grievance because I only went 2 days over 9-5. But it was like the 2 days that I went over were like 12 and a half hours, and I'll still like. I'm not one of them people. I'm basically on the 9-5 list to not work 12 hours a day if I can, and that's because I have a daughter, and I would like to try to be. I mean, I'm already not home a lot, in the evening to spend a lot of time with her as it is. But I don't mind getting some OT. So I probably still work I still work a little over 50 hours a week pretty consistently, but. Being on the 9-5 list, but I don't. But the volume, it's still, we've got people that are slammed way worse than me, and I'm just like, so there's something. Yeah, I guess it's got to be a move. And it's the same with you. Well, no, you haven't had any layoffs. You've never had any layoffs at your building, right, Dave? That was just a rumor. No. So you guys never lost anybody.
No.
But your volume,
there's certain drivers I may see work like once a week that like just came in like this past Christmas. You know what I mean?
So they're
still on there, but
getting a day or two.
Yeah, a lot of them working preload and shit now, but
how's the freeloaders? How's your loads?
Yeah. I mean, Luke's got a dime.
I've got the greatest. I've got the best loader I've ever had, and I'd say hands down the best in the building. So I can't. I've brought her up before, and I'll shout her out again. Her name is Tina, and she is. I don't know how long she's lived here for a long time, but she's from Germany originally. So she came. I cannot remember when she told me when she came here, but dude, she is a fucking machine, dude. I mean, shit's in order, stuff's written on boxes. She knows how to, what we used to call snake loading, where if you would have, upper 2,000 shelf, you would put, if you had too much shit, you put it at the beginning of the 3,000 shelf. Mm-hmm. And she does that not with but when she's off. Like my day, like the guys beside me that she loads their trucks, like we're all fucking pissed. Everybody's mad, but like she obviously needs her time too. We can't ask her to work fucking all year, but dude, yeah, for me, I cannot complain. Only when she doesn't work.
This probably, I would like to think this happens in every building because I mean, we haven't been surprised once about anything with UPS. So it's like, I feel like a lot of people, they don't get the common sense part about which way the labels should be facing.
Yo, facts.
Like,
Facts.
the entire day, we as drivers are going to our, we open up the bulkhead door, going to back. Hold on, let me turn this box around. Let me see what this one says. Oh, let me turn this one around. The entire day. So it's like, I don't think they teach that. Like, Luke, I don't know, it just had me thinking about that. Like, I think there's things that they don't teach anymore at preload. Like, I don't think they teach about the snake loading anymore.
I don't
like,
think they
okay,
do
if your
either.
1,000
I don't
shelf
know how
gets
the fuck she
overran, then you move
figured
it to
that
the
out, but-
2,000 shelf. Right. So it's like, but it like, and we think the hiring process too, obviously, we know has like being qualified. Or, UPS used to be a thing where it was about who you knew to get in to work there. And it's not like that anymore. Like, anybody who's anybody's just come on
You
in.
could
We
be
need,
fresh out of prison.
like, we
and
need
they
workers.
fucking-
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so it's like, I don't know.
Yo.
The quality of everything with this company, he's go
Oh,
just
man.
like the stock. Straight.
Yeah.
Little by little.
Oh man. So yeah, last year, I had a crazy helper, another one. It's every year for me, right?
Nice.
I swear,
Nice. Let's go.
because my route's like in the hood, right? In the little hood area part. And I swear, every time they send me someone that's just, about it, I guess. Anyways, this guy, I pull up, right? I pull up to the spot. This guy is sitting there waiting for me. He has his beanie on, like half on his head, sideways, fucking crazy ass gold chain, saggy ass pants, and he's smoking a blunt. He's just smoking a blunt right there, waiting for me. I roll up. I'm like, "Hey, are you the helper or whatever?" He rolls up. He gets in my car. I told him, I was like, you can't have that. He fucking put the blunt out and put it in his beanie. So it was just sitting right there. He's like, "I'm ready, dog. I'm ready." I'm like, bro, no. So we start fucking delivering, and this fool is dying. He brings one fucking bottle of water. That shit was gone so fast, and it wasn't even water; it was Kool-Aid. I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What the fuck?" So I had water, so I give him some water and shit.
Sorry.
Yeah, right. And homie's just dying, and his saggy pants are just like falling off as he's trying to make these deliveries. Oh man! And then I didn't have a vest, so I fucking forgot to get a vest for him. So
here's this dude with his saggy ass pants.
Yeah.
His fucking blunt in his beanie, rolling up to people's houses. No identification.
Oh, bro. And then I guess he went to someone's house and the person like chased him back to the truck. What are you doing? And I'm in the back looking for shit, and I hear this shit outside of the truck. And I tell the sender, I was like, "Hey, I can't have this guy on my truck anymore." They're like, "Give him one more day, right?" So the next day, same fucking shit. And I tell him, I'm like, "Hey, yo, you gotta wear like some proper clothes or something, He has his Timbs on and shit. I'm like, "Oh, fuck, dude."
Untied.
And then he gets, yeah, exactly, untied, bro. Fucking, and so then he fucking, this guy, he gets on the phone with his baby mama.
Oh, boy.
Starts fucking going crazy in my truck as I'm driving. This guy's just yelling at her like, "Bitch, I'll beat you up," fucking just talking shit. Like, it was getting crazy, dude. I'm like looking at him, I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "You know what?" He's like, "I'll pay you with my check." He's like, I was like, "You can go online and you can see how much you got paid for like the week or whatever." He goes online and he's like, "What the fuck? $100?" I was like, "Oh, dude, I didn't pay you, dude. Don't fucking be mad at me." So we got into a big ass argument, bro. He was coming at me about it. I was like, "Yo, you gotta call the center, bro." And that was like the last time I saw that fool, dude. But like, I swear, every year it's something new with like my helpers, dude. I don't know.
Well,
I
Same
always get
here.
the worst
dude,
ones,
did
Same
he?
the
here.
worst ones. And I did what you did, where you just dropped them off and dipped. I
Yeah.
did that like 2 years ago. I did that to one of them, dude. The next day, I pull up to the spot where we would meet up, and this fool just rolls up on me. Hey, I'm ready to work. I'm like, oh shit. I was like, hey, you got to call the center because
Like,
my other helper
hell
rolled
no,
up
you're
at the
not.
same time. Mm-hmm. Hell
Dude.
nah, dude.
Picking up the replacement.
So
Yeah. And then that guy rolls up. He's like, hey, yeah, it was crazy, bro. I was like, oh fuck, man.
So
I don't know.
my helper. I'm not sure if I said. Did I ever tell about my helper this past year?
I don't. I gotta. I don't think you did. Oh wait,
I don't think.
no, wait.
Did I don't know.
Hold
Anyways,
on,
real quick.
before you do this, I gotta
Yeah.
ask something real quick though. Did he truly think you were like you were in charge of his payroll for real? Like,
Yeah, he did, dude. He did. He thought he argued with me, and we argued like for like a cool minute, bro. And I told him, I was like, you could just get off right here. I'll just leave you right here. He's like, no, I'll work, dude. For like the whole rest of the half of the day, bro, it was so silent. There was no talking. It was just, I was,
God.
it was crazy, bro.
Oh fuck, dude! I had to.
I don't know where they get these helpers from, dude.
So mine, really, really nice guy. All right, he's actually a preloader at our building. Okay, really nice guy. I sure hope to God he does not listen.
Yeah, he probably
But you
fall
were a
over
great
if he
helper.
did.
My man hustled his ass off. So, but like, so I don't even know how to say it. It's I don't know if it's like coordination or something, but like this dude, my helper fell at least once a day, every day.
Oh,
Dude, I'll just say
Like,
this. When we would be on the like we obviously didn't talk that much on the phone at that time, but when we were on the
Yeah.
phone, because I didn't talk, I never have a helper on my route because it's not it's a lot of pickups and commercial shit, so I don't. But I was like, so I called Dave, and I would hear him say, like, before I knew, I would hear him say, like, okay, it's this house right over there. All right, don't fall. Don't fall. And like I let it go for a few times, and every time we got out, he's like, "Don't fall, don't fall." I'm like, "What the fuck, dude?" I was like, "This fucking guy." Like, I was like, "What the? I
oh,
can't fucking stand up straight or what?" And he said he just kept falling
like
over,
out of the truck or what?
no,
Like
because he's
just
walking
just
or
tumbling
oh,
over,
walking at a brisk
shh,
pace.
oh, what the fuck?
like fucking.
And like the worst part about it was that we had like 2 weeks in a row where like it was like it didn't get above 32 degrees like after it snowed, so everything just froze, and if it melted a little bit from like the sun, it would just refreeze again. It was like one of those type of situations. So this poor bastard, dude, and like everybody out there on that route, this is my first like holiday season out there on my new route. And so like I wasn't sure what to expect with like people taking care of their driveways and shit, because it's a very rural route out there. And so like, dude, so many people didn't take care of their driveways. And here's this guy having to walk on this ice, dude. I've seen this dude eat shit quite a few times in like a 1 month span. Yeah, and then like like maybe it was like raining or something one day too, and everything's like a little muddy. And like he'd come back to the truck with like his entire side is like dirt and shit and like wet. I'm like, dude, you good? He's like, yeah, I just fell out there. I was like, was he high the entire time? Was he drunk?
An
Like,
insurance company's worst nightmare for UPS. It's just like this fucking guy's going.
yeah. But hey, he hustled. He was actually a pretty good helper.
Dude, I do have to say, I gotta say, my I think I've talked about her before, but the last helper I did have, it was like 3 years ago, and I had a helper they gave me a helper for 2 days because I tweaked my back, but not like, it was a non-work injury, and I wasn't like that. I wasn't really hurt. My back was just, I'd have this shit where like, I can feel it pop. I don't know what the fuck it is, but my lower back, dude, my back will get stiff, and it's very rare. It happens like once every fucking. It's not even a yearly thing, and anyway, but it happened this, and I remember asking one of my supervisors if I could have a helper because I was like just my back was still feeling a little. Thinking about it now, I'm like, damn, they just let me do that. They didn't fucking question it or anything. And
Of course they did.
But they
Peak
gave
season.
me the helper. That's also peak season, true. But the helper they gave me was this girl who weighed probably at most 90 pounds, and she was so tiny that when I like because it's winters are cold here, so the doors are shut and she can't open the fucking door, like, because the truck I had was old anyway and it's stuck, and dude, she's like trying, and I'm like, fuck, man. So I had to open the door and I couldn't leave it open because it was fucking cold. I knew, like, I'm not gonna let her ride with the door open when it's like fucking 20 degrees outside. But I couldn't even. I literally had to open the door every stop. And that was my last helper. But she was nice and was good. Like she worked. I mean, she wasn't lifting. Like, if I had like a 60-pound box, I just delivered it. I wasn't going to make her do.
Yeah.
But yeah, she like literally was one of the tiniest human beings I've ever met. She like I said, max 90 pounds. That was my last helper I had.
Wait, so, dude, like, it's so funny because I'm one of those drivers where, like, I'll drive with that driver's side door open all day, every day, 365 days a year. Like, dude, like, it'd be like 10 degrees outside, that heat be blasting, and that right side door would be open. And it's so funny because, like, how you just said, Luke, how, you wouldn't let her, like, freeze, obviously.
I would let her freeze.
But exactly.
Oh, dude, I felt
every
bad.
time I have a helper, I'm like, listen, if you want to shut it, you can, but sometimes the door gets sticky, the handle gets sticky. It's just easier to leave it open. And then, the helper usually asks, like, oh, what do you do with it? I was like, I always ride with it open. And then they're like, okay, I'm going to freeze. But, and then I'm like, look, I'll blast the heat, full blast. All right. Just get some blood flowing in the body. Let's go.
I'm still tripping out that God, I hate this shit on. I mean, I guess this is the middle of the year, so we don't ever have to worry about helpers listening to this on the trucks. But I remember I gotta throw this in there because we're talking about helper stories, dude. Because this was this was Bobby's episode that we did when we did our first Christmas that we recorded. Those were the first pre-recorded episodes for peak season, so we didn't record for peak. And that was the first time we did it. So we did an episode with me and did an episode with Dave, and we did an episode with Bobby. And his episode, dude, and I mean, we still have it up. If you listen, you go back and listen to Bobby Hoyt's episode. He was talking so much shit casually on helpers so bad. And it was fucking hilarious because
I remember
it
this
was
one
like,
now.
dude, we started thinking, we're like, dude, there's gonna be drivers listening to this fucking shit with helpers riding in the jump seat. And you're just fucking
Here we are, scratching on
dude.
him.
He was so nonchalant. But like they bring it on themselves sometimes. They have to because that dude thought you controlled the payroll. I've heard there's been people I know that. Okay. All right, I got a good one for you. So this guy that I know, I didn't go to high school with him. He went to a different school, but we have 3 high schools in my county, and he went to one of the other ones. I've known him for a long time. He's a few years older than me, and he went to the interview to be a helper, and he had a fucking suit on, and now I'm talking to the nines, shine shoes, fucking looking suave as fuck. And he said when he walked into that building and sat down, fucking person next to him was wearing a pair of sweatpants. He was like, dude, I don't know what I was applying for. I thought I was getting, he thought he was coming on. He thought he was like coming to fucking, to be a driver and start driving. And I'm like, dude, I still don't know why the fuck you're wearing this suit, man. I was like, we wear a fucking uniform anyway. I'm like, but he went in there thinking that it was something totally different, and yeah, dude with sweatpants sat beside him. It's just deflated his whole morale. But he, but I already would have it though. He's a delivery guy, but not with UPS. He works for Coca-Cola, I believe now. But yeah, that was no. There's just I don't know. I feel like Helper stories. There's so many gems. So the guy that you dropped off. So let's talk about him. So, or if it was a him, was it a dude?
Yeah.
So if that other guy, the dude that was arguing with the payroll shit, is mad about his check was so. If that guy was that bad, how bad was this dude that you left? What led that on that you rolled out on him?
This guy was interesting. He was like a hardcore gamer, and we always ask those questions. Like, oh, so what do you do when you're not working?
Of course.
Oh,
right.
I just play video games. I live with my parents. I'm gonna stay there as long as I can. I'm like, what? Fool, don't you want to like get out? You have a girlfriend? No, I don't care about that. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. It's cool. Anyways, this guy fucking he was like the shittiest worker ever. Like the shittiest worker. He was 60 pounds was too heavy for him. So I was tired of like doing that shit. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna drop you off and we'll just call it a day. He's like, dude, I only worked for like an hour. I'm like, it's cool. I'm just gonna drop you off. It's cool. I went and dropped him off and I left. And then the next day I go to the same spot and I'm ready to pick up another helper because I already told the center, I was like, I don't want to fuck with him. I don't need him. Blah. Give me another helper. So I go to the spot where we met up and I pick up my other helper, but that guy just shows up. Like I'm ready to work. And now I have two helpers right here and they're both looking at each other like, and I'm over here like, oh, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck?
It's like the Spider-Man meme where they're all pointing at each other.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Exactly. And I was like, shit. So then I take the new helper and I left the other one that I dropped off. I was like, hey, just call the center and see what they want to do. I leave with my new helper and then I got a call from the center. And then the center's like, hey, we need you to pick him up. I'm like, what? We're going to assign your new helper to another guy. So you need to go back and pick him up. And I was like, I don't want that guy.
Dude, you left
assign him to another driver.
Pick him up for you.
Yeah.
God.
So then I picked him up and dude, the whole day, like we didn't even talk. It was just quiet.
So weird.
And then I come to find out that his dad was like a high up manager in UPS.
Course.
Come on, bro.
Of course.
Yeah, bro.
And he's just
keeps going.
He's just this lazy gamer fucking can't lift 60 pounds
bro.
fucking figures.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That's
makes
crazy.
Sense.
It makes sense.
And then,
the only thing my dude's ever lifted was a fucking gaming controller.
Yeah, exactly, bro. It was too much. And then the other guy, the guy that thought I was fucking paying him and shit, well, that guy... that fucking guy. So the same thing happened with him, but I didn't even tell management about it. So I guess there's a driver next to me and they assigned him to that driver. But for some reason he showed up, he calls me, he's like, hey, they assigned me to the driver, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, well, that's your driver. Stay with him. Management calls me and they go, hey, why is your helper with this other driver? The other driver just called us saying that he's your helper. And I was trying to just keep him away from me. Yeah, right. Bro, this whole fucking thing, dude. And then the guy comes. I was like, all right, fine, fuck it. I'll take him. He comes and he jumps back on the truck. Bro, this guy's just arguing with his baby mama again. Like every day, it was an everyday thing, bro. It was so crazy. He's like, man, you won't understand. He's like, my baby mama's daughter, she's talking mad shit. And then he was arguing with her because she owed him money, but he didn't have money. And he was pissed off about his paychecks coming out super fucking like low. The homie's only working like a couple hours. So what do you expect with that, like, you know, helper pay? You're not gonna make fucking. He was thinking he was gonna make like what we make. I
Dude,
was like,
I'm just
nah, it don't work like that,
I'm
bro.
just seeing him
I'm
look on his
sorry.
phone and say $100.
Yeah, bro. He was so mad when he said that, and I was trying so hard not to laugh because it's kind
Oh
of.
man.
But dude, yeah, and then that was that, bro. And I don't know. And then I guess he jumped on car with another driver, and I guess they were this guy has like a nice resi area, super rich, and a lot of people just leave their garages open, right? And I guess this guy, he's fucking looking at everyone's garage, and he's just like
Oh
telling people like,
shit.
"Oh, you have a nice whatever it is that they had in their garage." And I'm like, "Bro, you shouldn't be saying that shit." It was just too funny, bro. I don't know. It's too funny.
Oh, dude,
It's crazy.
I got to tell one more that I just remembered, and then I'll stop because the dumb shit that now you had me thinking it because of asking about shit. This fucking I don't know who this was. I never knew. It was just one of the people we had. I don't even know who the driver was that he rode with, but we get like we deliver, we'll deliver I mean, from the VA to veterans and stuff. I don't know. I don't know if it's OxyContin, whatever it is. We give them, we make deliveries of some type of prescription pills of some sort to people. And this fucking helper, I guess, delivered it and had the bright idea to go show back up at like 11 p.m. In his personal vehicle. I was like, "Hey, I had to come back for that delivery." And then people obviously knew it was bullshit, and they called the police, and dude got arrested. But this fucking showed up at 11 o'clock at night in your personal vehicle. So I think he still had his helper vest on and shit to try to make himself look official. It's like, yeah, I need to get that back. Fucking didn't end well. Yeah, that's my last one.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like, where do they find these people? It's unreal.
I've always said though, if you're 30 years old, I mean, I know people. There's obviously exceptions because people lose their jobs and get laid off and do things right before this would happen, and there's obviously people out of work that are good workers, but in general, if that hasn't happened to you, really, if you're in your 30s and you're not working, I feel like generally most people, they're just not, you know what I mean? Like they're not used to, they're not used to what we do either. And I don't know. I can't say with my helpers, my first two were awesome, and they were young, and they were both athletes and lifted shit. And I've always said the first helper I ever had, dude was a college basketball player, and I'd throw fucking oops up to him in this cul-de-sac, and he'd dunk, and these fucking kids would go crazy, and it would be like the end of the night. And he'd be all tired. I'd be like, come on, man. Just got to do it for the kids. And I'd just throw it up there, and he'd slam it, and they'd go crazy. And the first time I went back to that place without him, they were so disappointed because I was like, I can lay it up. I ain't going to be able to dunk that shit. But yeah, I always had pretty good ones. I mean, I had my shit. But as far as my career of helpers, dude, I cannot. I mean, especially just with you two alone and all the others that I've heard, I've been lucky. I've been pretty lucky.
So wait, so how many are you able to count how many you've had total in your career at UPS, Luke?
Are you
How many helpers you've had?
I can because I haven't had a helper for a long time. Other than, I mean, I can't remember the most recent one. I can't remember her name, but there was her that the guy. The first one I had, his name was Van. Then I had Dalton, and I had Dalton for 2 years. And then after him, I had a barrage of shitty ones. I don't know. I've probably had like 6 or 7, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I was
just trying to see like
5
how
years,
many.
I've only had one. I haven't had a helper other than that girl that
Right,
helped me for 2 days. I haven't had a helper since 2019 at
Yeah.
Christmas.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you've had one the entire time I've known you.
Yeah, man, they don't. I mean, with the way my route works, they're not very helpful. I mean,
Right.
commercial shit when they tried it
It'd be better
first.
to have a PVD.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, not really, but yeah, I mean, they take
Oh,
plenty of my work, but I'm not here to judge. People need,
There's some characters on that side of things
fuck
too,
yeah.
man. Dude,
yeah, there's some
I've
gems
I've
too.
seen a dude that was like, I was like, oh, dude, because I gave him a whole, a section like we do, and then like, there's that like one stop that has a 80-pound furniture piece TV stand or something, and you're like, fuck, I'm gonna have to go over there and run this one off because this guy's not gonna be able to, take it because it's so big, it won't fit in his car. Well, this man was like, nah, dude, give me it. I'll strap it down to the hood. Or he said, I'll strap it down to the roof. And here he is. Dude, I was like, okay, bud. Here you go. You can have it. Sure as shit. There he is bungee cording the fucking package down from like one window to the other across the top. Just, oh, yeah.
Oh,
There's
bro.
there's definitely some PVD characters.
Fuck yeah. Especially when they're like, I'll take a big section. They show up in the smallest fucking car
Yeah,
ever, dude.
like some 2-door
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, bro. The fuck?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I didn't even have any like because I'd have storage units that I would deliver. I would
Yeah.
lockers I would put shit in, and we quit doing that. And I don't know. I've been lucky, man. I haven't had to deal with. I've seen some of the routes that have the PVD work in it. It's just slammed in with all of their shit, and then most of the time you're not finding it all anyway. But yeah, I mean. And that's still that was it. We've talked about this before. Was that something that was supposed to not be in the after the contract passed? But obviously PVDs are
What's
still
that?
being used. Was PVDs supposed to be let go or not be a thing anymore?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
We're like not allowed to have them, right? Something like that.
But they're still there because we still had them last year in this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they are still there.
but
Yes.
wasn't that? I
Well,
thought
that
that
shit's
was a
dumb.
thing. It
Nah,
is.
yeah, that shit was dumb. Because okay, this guy's gonna come help you out. You give him the work. This guy fucking dies on what you gave him. So now you got to go help him out. The fuck? Just give me the work and I'll just deliver it.
They
I don't
should
know
just
why
pay. They should pay helper. I don't know. I don't even know what the helper pay scale is now, but they should just pay helpers PVD wage too and be done with it. And probably might get some better people. I don't
You
know.
might get some better people. Yeah.
I look at his check going $100. Dude, I can't get over that, dude. I'm sorry, I can't get over it. I keep fucking replaying it in my head, just sitting in the jump seat, dude. That'd have been. Like, yeah, I'm a driver / payroll fucking dude.
The helper's always excited to get their first check too. Like they're always like, "Oh, dude, man, it's Friday. Can you grab my check for me?" And then we go get their check and give it to them, and then you see them open it right there in front of you, and then just sheer disappointment on their face.
Hey, they pay union dues, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
Helpers
Yeah,
pay
that
union
happened.
dues.
Yeah.
What? Dude,
Yep.
they make those helpers pay union dues. That is
Yep.
fucked up. They ain't even there for fucking. They're not even there to qualify.
I know.
Dude, holy shit! Wow, that's fucking jacked. I didn't know that. That's really fucked up, man.
Oh, dude.
Holy shit! You guys just fucking blew my mind. I did not realize that.
It's we've all seen the driver or a helper open their paycheck right there. They're always just so excited and just looking forward to their first check. But
That's why I always hold it. I always hold it till when I'm about to drop them off.
Yeah,
I'm
the end of the day.
Here's your check.
Yeah,
Just go open it over there.
not right now.
Yeah, not right now, because then they're gonna start working like shit, or fuck that.
Yeah,
The vibes and everything. They're like, oh, what the fuck? Nah.
Yeah. Man, those poor people.
I mean, just just a
Because
stepping
I felt
stone.
like there was a time when like it actually made me like feel bad because I was like, fuck. Like you barely made anything. You worked out here just as long as I have
Well,
all day long.
I feel bad if it's somebody older that need, like that's what I'm like, dude. Yeah, because I always think when I have somebody like I've had people that were, at just like in their 30s and not. I'm sitting there thinking like, and I know they've been mad because I've, like you said, and I'm sitting there thinking like, well, dude, you gotta like you're working part time. Doing fucking, but it's still, I don't know, man. The union do things bugging me out. I could not believe that. I did not know that. That's a fucking talk about, they're talking about fucking being for the working people. Jesus, that's like a fucking, that's PVD drivers don't pay union dues, do they?
Dude, probably.
I wonder if they do. That's fuck, man.
That's an interesting question. Yeah.
Let's look that up.
But anyways, we've been going on for about an hour and a half now. Just chatting it up. Love it. Yeah. Luke, do you have anything else, buddy?
I just, I'm glad. I appreciate you coming back on, brother. It's been, it's been a minute. I'm glad we were able to work it out. And I know you were off this week as well, right? You were on, so
yes, sir.
So you'll be facing that music just like me in a few days. But it, it's you can't stay off forever. Got to go back. But it's I don't have anything off the top of my head. I just got mind blown right there. I've had it. This has been kind of a mind blowing episode a little bit. We'll see. We'll see if the narration career launches. God, man, I'm sitting there thinking anybody. Yeah, I'd be professional as I would need to be.
Yes,
but it would still be fucking. I mean, tell me, would you not laugh your ass off if you heard me narrating something like I don't even know? I feel like there would have to be. I'd like. Is there a course? Is there something I can Google? Be like, how can I make a course of how I can narrate gay romance with not make it fucking.
If there's not a course, you should totally make one.
All right, I'm done. I think I'm good.
Oh God.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, you'd have to be serious.
Oh, I'd be serious. I'll say I might have laughed at that, but I'd be serious. It'd be.
But if there was an outtakes section, definitely
the bloopers would be. Yeah, there would be bloopers. Everything has bloopers. That's what I should. That's how exactly I should have fucking said that to begin with. Because I thought to myself, I was like, I'm a. Because that's what I was thinking. I was like, I'm a pretty big supporter here. I don't want to come off thinking like I'm laughing at it like it's wrong. I'm just laughing at me reading it out loud. So bloopers, genius. That was what I should have said. Should have said out the gate, but yeah, we'll have a blooper reel outtakes.
God damn it. Daniel, do you have anything for us?
Nah, man. Nah, I'm chilling.
Cool.
It was a good time talking to you guys. Catching up.
Yeah, absolutely. I know it kind of came together kind of quick. I know we talked earlier in the week, but I was telling you, I don't know if I even told you this day, but I kind of got I'm good now, but I was fucking feeling down a few days. I might have got what my nephew had before we took off. And yeah, but I'm good now. But so, yeah, I know we talked earlier, but I'm glad it worked out, man. Cause we appreciate you having you back on, and it'll, and here's to next time, brother.
Next.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
So thank you guys for tuning in. All right, if you haven't yet, go join that Discord, huh? The link will be in the episode description here. Also, Patreon, like I mentioned at the top, if you want to help support the show, come join the Patreon family, patreon.com/AITDpod. That'll also be in the description of the episode. Daniel, thank you again for coming on, buddy. I am Dave, and my co-host Luke. We will see you all next week.
Later, everybody.